Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I know what you're thinking. You're going, you're not the Seaman. That's right, folks. It's 2018. Last time we talked, it's been a while. It was 2017. Cleaned up the beard, fresh haircut, looking real good. Shout out to Chrissy, always does an awesome job on my hair. Yeah, man. Last time we talked, it was last year. Now it's 2018. Wanted to clean up, look fresh for you guys, because it's been a while since we've had a chat. So like I said, my name's the Seaman. You know what that means. It's only going to mean one thing. He's back for another edition of the Seaman Cinema Sit-Down. You know that's the deal, and you know what to do. Now you got to pull up that chair, you got to take a seat. Tonight, we are talking about something that I wish I had. I wish I had all of it, man. I wish I did. I don't. Man, it would be nice. If you figured it out, you know what I'm talking about when we're talking movies. We're talking about All the Money in the World, baby. Yeah, that's right, Ridley Scott's new film, written by David Scarpa, based on the book of the same name by John Pearson, starring Michelle Williams, Mark Wahlberg, and in a last-minute flip-flop, Christopher Plummer coming in. There was a little bit of a scandal leading into the build-up of this movie. Ridley Scott did the right thing. He said, Kevin Spacey, you're gone. He said, I don't care, I only got 9 days to shoot. I know who to get. 88-year-old Christopher Plummer comes in. What a fantastic job. Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about the good about this movie. Because, man, Christopher Plummer knocks it out the park. Absolutely wonderful addition. What he pulled off in 9 days, what Ridley Scott pulled off in 9 days, unbelievable. Just crazy to do. But you know me. I can't start with the good because I want to leave that taste in your mouth at the end. So we're going to start with the bad. Remember, this is a non-spoiler review. We're going to go over a few things, but we're not going to spoil anything major, I promise. For those not familiar with what All the Money in the World is about, it is the true life story of J. Paul Getty's grandson, Paul, and his abduction. Man, this is a crazy story, man. 1970s, J. Paul Getty, huge oil tycoon. If you've ever gotten Getty gas, that's the guy. 1970s, the richest man in the world. And not just at that point, ever. No human being had ever amassed as much money as J. Paul Getty. His grandson gets abducted, and he does not pay the ransom right away. A very, very interesting story. Very similar, how I was sucked in with Molly's Game. I felt the same way with this movie. This story is fascinating. The things that happen in this movie, you go, there's no way. It's this flesh and blood. There's no way that happened. Very interesting dynamic between J. Paul Getty and his former daughter-in-law, Gail Harris, played by the wonderful Michelle Williams. She was married to his son. They divorced after he became a junkie. And all she wanted, I had so much credit to this woman, she didn't want any of J. Paul Getty's money. He had billions. All she wanted was child support for the kids and custody of the children. Mom of the year, mom of the lifetime, man. Just an unbelievably crazy story. Very, very strong woman, played so well by Michelle Williams. And the movie takes us all the way through the whole abduction, start to finish. We find out the whole story, and it is fascinating. So, like I said, I like to start with the bad and end with the good. My bad on this one, not a ton. Which shouldn't be surprising. We're once again, we are in award show season. This is one of the main movies being talked about as we lead in to the Oscars. So not shocking that there wasn't a ton bad in this. But for me, a couple things. First, definitely was a little slow in the middle. There's a lot of repetitiveness in the conversations that Harris and Getty have with each other, as well as Fletcher Chase, who is Getty's middleman. Played by Mark Wahlberg, and it gets a little slow in the middle, just because it's kind of over. We see it over and over, and that sometimes with true life stories, that's what happens. You get kind of strapped with what's going on. But outside of that, the movie is paced very nicely, and it works very nicely. The other thing, again, very minor problem. Mark Wahlberg's casting kind of fell out of place. You see a name like Mark Wahlberg, especially when he's the third billed name on the cast list, and you expect a lot for Mark Wahlberg to do, especially if you've seen the trailers. You come to find out that he's a CIA guy, and this is an abduction story. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get some great Mark Wahlberg stuff. Fletcher Chase was not the kick-ass, take names and numbers, and he wasn't that kind of CIA agent. He was more of a negotiator. And for Paul Getty, he was the middleman, got the numbers down in negotiations and whatnot. Wahlberg, what he does in the movie is wonderful, but when you don't have as much as you expect a big star to have in a movie, sometimes you go, maybe cast somebody not as prominent as Wahlberg. That being said, man, I'm nitpicking. I really enjoyed this movie, so let's get right into the good. As I said already, Michelle Williams, absolutely wonderful in this film. Playing Gail Harris, man, you really get a sense of how strong Gail Harris was as a woman during this time. And the stuff she had to deal with the media, and J. Paul Getty, and Williams does such a good job. I always laugh, because it's like, I grew up watching Michelle Williams on Dawson's Creek. Now this, way back teen, show queen is big movie star queen. And every time Michelle Williams is in something, man, she is just wonderful. And what she does, man, she does this little thing where, like, she gets to the absolute edge of breaking, and then she doesn't. Every time you think she's going to lose, she holds strong. So impressive, really brought the character to life for me. Really got me to get a good feel of a woman that I don't know. And now I have a ton of respect for this woman. What she goes through, what she endures, what she pulls off to make sure she gets her son back. It's what any son, what any child would want from their mother. Michelle Williams, absolutely fantastic. Second big thing for me, oh man, Christopher Plummer. That's right. For those that know, there was a lot of controversy leading into this movie because of a certain Kevin Spacey. And Chris Plummer, after Spacey got thrown out the door, basically, movie was done. It was shot. It was edited. We were getting trailers. We were getting lead-up time for the movie. Now this stuff breaks with Spacey. He's gone. Who's Ridley Scott going get? He gets Christopher Plummer. That in itself is a crazy story. I was reading an interview, man, and, Plummer was on his way to vacation, gets a phone call, and had never worked with Ridley Scott before, and said, this is an opportunity that's never presented itself before. I got to jump on it. Man, am I glad he did. He is fantastic. He plays J. Paul Getty so well. And what's even crazier, he had met J. Paul Getty in the 70s at parties out in England. So here's a man who way back when had met the man that he's now playing. And, they shot in 9 days. That's 9. Not count the fingers. 9 days. That's crazy. When you see this movie, you see what Christopher Plummer pulled off. You see what Ridley Scott pulled off. I read reviews that people saying, you can't expect to remove a lead actor from a movie, reshoot in 9 days, and not have it feel like it was pieced together. And those people, I'm looking right at you. You are full of it. If you didn't know that this drama took place with this movie, if you didn't know about the scandal, if you didn't know about the replacement, Ridley Scott did a fantastic job. The whole cast did a fantastic job. Michelle Williams, Mark Wahlberg, the whole group, they all dropped everything to come back and reshoot with Christopher Plummer. It says so much about this cast. And Christopher Plummer couldn't have, spoken more highly of this group of people. And to pull off what they pulled off in 9 days, I'm telling you, if you didn't know the story, 10, 15 years from now, kids, you just pop this in, kids watch the movie, they go, wow, that was awesome. Then you tell them what happened, they go, wait, what? I thought it was seamless, especially because they reshot the stuff. Now, it would be interesting to see the original cut, to see what they had to change due to time constraints, but I tell you, man, Ridley Scott, unbelievable. They pulled it off quite well. Your grip, the story is gripping. You're engaged the whole time, and it doesn't feel choppy ever. And I think a lot of that has to do with how great of a job Christopher Plummer did in this movie. He's absolutely fantastic. He makes you hate J. Paul Getty. So absolutely fantastic. The third big thing for me, you're probably saying he's going to say Wahlberg. Wahlberg's great. I love Wahlberg. Always love Wahlberg. But he's not the third thing, man. Romain Duris. Repeat this name. Remember this name. You go watch this movie. He plays Cinquenta. Oh my God. So Cinquenta is the original kidnapper. And all the guy wanted was money. He never wanted to see any harm come to little Paul. And the way he looks out for this kid as, twists and turns of the movie start to happen, you end up loving Cinquenta so much by the end of this movie. And a lot of that's got to go to Romain Duris. Not an actor I was familiar with prior to this. Did a fantastic job. Absolutely loved what he did, man. You really feel for him, even though he's the bad guy, or one of. But you end up feeling for him, and you root for him because he's always looking out for little Paul. Like I said, the cast in this is great. Charlie Plummer, who plays Paul, fantastic. I mean, he was kidnapped for months and months and months, and I think Charlie Plummer really captures what the kid was going through. He does a fantastic job. As I said, Mark Wahlberg also does a fantastic job. Doesn't have a ton, but when he's on screen, he nails it. He's got some really nice moments that, slowly you get because of these little moments that are dropped in the movie here and there. And some of it has to do with the family. You see that swing from being J. Paul Getty's guy to being Gail Harris's guy. And then he gets one moment in this movie. Might be the most pivotal moment of the whole thing. And he knocks it out the park, man. Oh, God. It's so good. You will enjoy it when you get there. I know you will. So like I said, the acting in this movie, very, very good. The writing, very strong. And Ridley Scott, man. I mean, he gives you at its core is a family drama mixed in with a little bit of a spy film. By the time you're at the end of the movie, man, you were on the edge of your seat. You were like, oh, man, what's going to happen? I got to know what's going to happen. Got to know what's about to happen. You're totally locked in. The twists and turns in the movie are, unexpected at times, but also very entertaining. And not, because it's a fantastic story. Such an interesting story, one I was unfamiliar with. I thought the whole group did a really, really great job. So that's it, man. That's all I got to say. So you know what I asked for now. Hit those comments for me, please. Tell me what you thought about this movie. Did you enjoy it? What'd you think of the actors? Did you think Christopher Plummer and Ridley Scott pulled off the almost unimaginable? Did you think it was seamless, or am I crazy? Was it choppy, and was I just too sucked into the story? Let me know. Hit those comments. If you haven't seen the movie, has the old Seaman looking fresh? Has he enticed you to spend all your money on all the money in the world? I hope I have, because I'd love for you to go see this movie. It's a really, really solid flick. So I hope you go see it. Please hit the comments. Let me know what you think. As always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not part of the squad, hit that subscribe button. And as always, hit the little bell right after that so you get an alert every time I make a new video. So that's it, man. All the money in the world. It was all the awesome in the world. Really enjoyed this film. Make sure you stay tuned as we hit all the award show movies. I will be breaking down my picks for the Oscars. That's right, folks. I'm going to give it all to you. So make sure you stay tuned to find out where all these movies rank for me as we head to the Oscar season. So that's it. All I got to say. For the Seaman Cinema Sit Down, I am the Seaman. I am signing off. You all have a wonderful night.